All right, SOFI update here on the 12th. I'm going to go over a few different possibilities here. I noticed something on Tesla yesterday. I made a video on it, but I'm going to give you two long-term counts now on SOFI of how this could play out. So the first one is the one that I've been talking about for a while, which is a second wave here. And we just go up here and make 5 waves, finish off the third wave. The second count, the new count, is that the third wave is finished and we're currently in a fourth wave. But it would be a different type of fourth wave. If we go back here, this would be the end of the third wave. I've shown you in the past on the weekly time frame. It's pretty obvious this is 5 waves. But I was looking for an extension. But what if that extension doesn't come? If the extension doesn't come, then that means that we're looking for a fourth wave. Is this the fourth wave right here? Well, I don't think so, because that would be too short. Because you look at the second wave here, the second wave lasted over a year. So what I'm thinking as an alt count is that we get a diagonal. And so yeah, that would be pretty negative short term. But this would be the overall A wave right here. Wherever we finish off would be the overall A wave. Let's go down to the daily. This is a very corrective move, so I don't think we're just going to come down here straight away. If this were to happen, it would look like this. Something like this. And probably come down here and actually get into the first wave at 1173. So it would turn into a diagonal. So a fourth wave would come down here. Probably sometime in like April, May, June, one of those months, I'd be looking at it like this. But right now, we should be starting that bounce. I've talked about this zone right here for a long time. And we're in that zone. We're coming out of it, hopefully. Tesla's bouncing now. And so I would be looking for a bounce to at least the 0.5 fib. So the 0.5 fib is sitting up here at 1630. So that would give us a nice $1.30 bounce minimum, but you also have a gap here at 1788. So if this count were to work out, it would look like B wave up here, and then we would get a move probably down to the 1.61 fib, which is 1226 right now. So that's not quite going into this. It doesn't have to go into the first wave, but it would just be a deeper fourth wave. It'd probably cross this midpoint. And that's all we need. We just need to cross this midpoint, and then we can make a fifth wave higher from there. And we could go, let's say we go down to 1226, we could go all the way up here to 33 bucks. And then that would be 5 waves. So 5 would look like that. So don't get caught up on the first count. We're all going to see what happens. It could still be a second wave of an overall. We're still looking for the overall third wave. It still could play out like this. But if we just get a corrective bounce here, if we just get an ABC bounce, that's a corrective bounce. That's not what you want to see for a third wave. Third wave, you want to see a 5 wave move here. You want to see this pull back and then a bigger move like that. An ABC move is not going to do anything. That's just going to tell us that this is likely a B wave and we have one more move down. So if this plays out, then that means those options that we saw, the option flow for the $10 puts in June, make more sense. The only reason I'm bringing this count up is I noticed that on Tesla, this seems like a very likely scenario as well. And they move together. So on Tesla, same thing. It's coming down here, probably going to bounce to 400, and then potentially go down here, or I'm wrong and it will just go up here to 580 right away. So there's two scenarios here. Again, we're watching to see if Tesla is making an impulse off the lows. Right now, it looks pretty impulsive, but it's all going to come down to on the higher time frames. What happens as far as the overall? Is it 5 waves or is it ABC? On Tesla, it would come down here probably to like 250 and then run up here to 700. So the only reason I say that too, another reason is because of the fact that if you look at the weekly time frame, you'll see that this is way, way out of bounds. And if it was going to go straight to 22 bucks, we'd be at like 5 or 6 standard deviations. But if we just retrace here and then come down here to 1170 in like April or May, then we're back in a reasonable spot for the weekly time frame. And then we can go like this and not really break above 2 standard deviations, because this move right here, it was a third wave, and so it's probably as far as we're going to get outside of the standard deviations. We're probably not going to be hitting 5 or 6 standard deviations. Like the only stock that I've seen that's done that lately is Palantir. Like Palantir is just ridiculous. But that happens like once in a blue moon. Like this is at probably like 6 or 7 standard deviations on the weekly. So it's just a really rare time that happens. And SOFI hit like 3 on this move. So I think it's probably unlikely that we come straight up, but I'm still going to leave that count up. I know I sound more like this other count is more likely, and I do think that it actually seems like it's more likely at this point. So sorry to disappoint you that we are potentially going to come down lower, but it's going to come down to this bounce. Let's see what this bounce does, and then I can have a better idea of what's going to happen. If we get a very weak corrective bounce, then I would say we're almost certainly going to come down here and probably break this low and make a lower fourth wave. So that is it for this update. Just wanted to go over a few scenarios on SOFI. Right now, it looks like it should be bouncing. There's still a gap at 1410 though, so if it wants to come down a little bit lower, it can. But I would be surprised if it were to like just break below this. I think we're still going to bounce up here to probably 16, 17 bucks minimum. That's it for this video. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe for more updates, and I'll catch you in the next one.